Alrighty, we are back. Whole gang is not here. I always hate saying that, Slim, but I think you and I should be grateful because let's all send a prayer for Bones down in Disney. The guy's got 4 kids, whole family. Prayer for him, prayer for his bank account.
You got to go check out Bones's Instagram. His wife captured the first time Bones ever saw the Magic Castle. He looks like a child again.
He does. And again, so shout out to Bones. He can't be here tonight. Obviously, he would if he could, but he's enjoying a lovely family vacation down in Disney for the first time. Speaking of Disney, and guys, we're going to get to everything today. We're going to get to the winter meetings wish list. We got a lot of fun games today. And do me a favor, before I get to our little Disney side mission here, hit that subscribe button, please. Hit that like button. I'm tired of saying it, but I got to keep on saying it. You know it helps. Slim, when's the last time you've been to Disney?
I went to Disney a few years ago for a 40th. It was crazy fun. It was the first time I went to Epcot. So I didn't go to Disneyland. I did Epcot for a day. I did Disney. What is it used to be called Downtown Disney back in I forget, Disney Springs or something it's called now. There's all different types of things there, shopping, eating, drinking. But yeah, that were the 2 big things I did. I went for a long weekend. We stayed at the Margaritaville, which also had a couple things there to do. So it was sick. And I'm actually debating going down on my honeymoon over spring break. That time is super expensive, of course, so we're debating it. But I have a question.
Yeah.
We all know Bones to be a stubborn man in his opinions, right?
Yes.
And he was basically a non-Disney person.
Sure.
Yes or no? When Bones comes back, he's going to be a Disney dude.
Oh, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes. He's going to be surprised how much he loved it, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I think seeing the kids have fun is obviously an awesome experience. And I'm sure there's a couple things that are going to make him feel like a kid again, right? Because that's really what Disney does. Makes us all feel like kids again. But
100%.
That's an expensive experience. So I think he's gonna be okay having that money in his bank account moving forward.
Never again.
So the last time I went to Disney was probably about 10 years ago, maybe 10 to 12 years ago. It was right when the Harry Potter thing was hot. I remember the butter beers, they were flowing. That's the last time I've been there. I've been told that I wouldn't even recognize it today if I went. But yeah, man. So what else you got for me?
So over the holiday weekends, I said every weekend I watch, every Thanksgiving, I take time to watch Scarface. But I added another one Saturday night, a classic. And I'm going to do this Jeopardy style. And this is one of your favorite actors. He's been featured on these little things already a few times. Here's the question.
Okay.
In The Firm, this early display of Tom Cruise's signature move showed audience that even corporate law couldn't slow him down. All right, so they made montages of Tom Cruise doing this move. And he does it in a ton of his movies. And The Firm is one of the first displays of him doing it. It's a signature move of his.
Huh. Signature move. Damn. Is it the wiping of the hair back?
No, you got to think more Mission Impossible-ish.
I mean, I'm thinking motorcycle. I'm thinking running.
Motorcycle, right. Yeah. Right. The sprint, the full-on sprint.
Yeah, the sprint.
The first time where you see him in the full-on sprint.
Got it. That is
almost in a. I don't know if it's every movie, but close to here on out. From there on forth.
No, that's a good call. He is notorious for just hauling ass in these movies.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. So that's the first time he ever did it. All right, I love it. If
you haven't seen The Firm, you have to see it. It's a older one, a little bit more of a deep cut, but it is super relevant for today's time.
All right, so guys, like I said earlier at the top of the show, we're going to hit you with some winter meeting stuff. But first, before we do that, Slim, let's show the listeners here and viewers what we have in store for them for the holidays.
Ooh, look at that. It's the old redcornerpod.com. I'm going to say it 2 times. The redcornerpod.com. I already got the Stop the Stigma shirts, which you guys know goes towards the pink elephants. Here's one we have to highlight because it might be coming this year after Dave Dombrowski talked a lot of Grizzy on our MVP, the MV3 Elite shirt. All right. So get that one before Harper becomes a favorite, comes out the gate hot. I think he's going to this year. And here's the other one. This is the prediction markets are hot. Poly market was on 60 Minutes yesterday. We called this a month ago, right above. Run it back forever. All right. The Phillies are going to have the same exact team with maybe a couple few young faces, but it's going to be the same team. So you might as well get your Run It Back Forever shirt at the redcornerpod.com.
I love it. And like Slim said, those shirts will not be there forever. So get them while they're hot. Also, not pictured here. We just dropped some beanies, baby. So go check it out. It's getting cold outside, Slim. So keep those ears warm. Get a Red Corner beanie. And also, if you use, we're going to extend the deal. We're extending the deal. If you use code HOLIDAYS10, I'll say it again, HOLIDAYS10, number 10, 10% off everything on your order. So use that now, guys. Support the Red Corner because that's how we remain as Phillies #1 independent Phillies podcast. All right, we're back here. Slim, before we get into the winter meetings wish list, I got a little game for you. And like always, this is a complete surprise. Slim has no idea what is coming right now. This is the name of the game. It's called Kyle Schwarber Or. So I'm going to list a situation where you got to pick if you want Kyle Schwarber or the thing that I say after that. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Don't overcomplicate it. You get it. Let's start off right here. Kyle Schwarber or JT Realmuto?
Kyle Schwarber.
All right. I like that decisive. Kyle Schwarber or Ranger Suarez?
Kyle Schwarber.
Okay. Sticking with your boy. Number 3.
I have to.
Kyle Schwarber or Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott?
Kyle Schwarber.
Okay. Let's keep it moving here. Kyle Schwarber or keeping Andrew Painter within the organization?
Ooh.
It's a goodie, right?
Yes. And I'm going to say keeping Andrew Painter in the organization at this point. I turned a leaf. I've been high on him since last week. I felt the pulse of Phillies Nation, talked to a lot of Red Riders, and we're all in on Andrew Painter again. All right, we're all back in on Andrew Painter, more so than even Kyle Schwarber, which means a lot because if Kyle Schwarber came back, I really do believe he hits 500 home runs and ends up in the Hall of Fame. So that's saying that I believe Andrew Painter, perennial all-star, is still 100% in the mix. Big playoff starts, 100% in the mix. But I still have even higher hopes going against a little bit what I said last week.
I love that. Okay, so final one. So final Kyle Schwarber or.
Okay.
Kyle Schwarber or Justin Crawford and Aiden Miller in the organization.
Wow. With both those guys in the organization, I have to say Justin Crawford and Aiden Miller.
Okay.
I think now's the time where the young guys are here to stay. I was wondering why they weren't being traded earlier last year when we needed pieces mid-season. You know, we did a couple big trades. So that means trading them means we just basically we're keeping our hold and our stocks in these 3 guys. And for better or worse, we need them to pan out. And the opportunities are going to be available this year.
No doubt. All right, you knocked that out of the park, man. I like that. We'll try to keep that going one way or the other in the future. But all right, so let's get to business here, Slim. So the annual MLB Winter Meetings are upon us, being held in Orlando, Florida, like we've referenced at the top of the show, between December 8th and December 10th. So for those of you who don't know, most of you probably do, this is historically some of the most active time during the MLB offseason. Right. So let me I'm not going to just say that. Let me just prove it to you. So these are some of the moves that the Phillies have done during the winter meetings in the past. Zach Wheeler, back in 2019, we signed him. Shane Victorino, we drafted him during the Rule 5 draft. Tug McGraw trade back in the 70s. We traded for Tug McGraw. Pete Rose back in the late 70s. We all know that was a big one. We signed him back when we signed Trey Turner. That was during the winter meetings. And then on the trade front, we traded Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee during the winter meetings. So, I mean,
Ooh.
I just named some of the biggest names in Phillies history that have been acquired or traded one way or the other. And it's happened during the winter meeting. So this could get interesting, and it could get interesting very quickly. This is what I want you to do, Clem. Just give me
Yes.
a wish list. Give me what you would love to see happen next week during the winter meetings.
Okay. So right off the bat, if I'm Dave Dombrowski, John Middleton, I'm walking in, and you know what's the first thing we have to do?
What's that?
We should have never even had this player ever on the team. We got to get rid of Nick Castellanos. So who's ever willing to pay even, I think it gets above $2 million. But if we walk in there and someone says, we're giving you nothing besides paying $3 million of his contract, you only got to pay 17 million, 16 million, you immediately say yes and get rid of that. All right. You save the $4 million. You just eat it at that point. I'm hoping we get to that point.
Right.
That it'll just be a little cash consideration deal done first day, because he is a right-handed bat and they are in need, as we 100% know. I think we can decide that we're probably not going after Bader. So the second thing I'm wishing for is to get rid of Strom. Okay. I don't care what this looks like, but we can get rid of Strom and get rid of the money on Strom's deal. So if we can get rid of Castellanos, save 3 to 4 million, and then Strom 7 million, that's about $10 million already right then and there. Then the third thing and the biggest thing we got to get done right off the bat is we got to sign Kyle Schwarber and just set the table. All right. And the earlier we do it, the heavier the arm. It seems like we might be able to get a good deal. It seems like if we come to him right now with 4 years, 120 or 150 million, he'll probably take it right here, right now. So I don't know why this isn't getting done.
Right.
I do have a lot of patience. I said last week that I would say to him, here's the offer, here's the deadline before we start looking. And it's funny because it didn't get reported as such today and yesterday or whenever it came out, but it did get reported that it's likely that Schwarber is going to be one of the first people to sign.
Yep.
And I think that has a big reason to do with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think a lot of people are expecting him to somewhat set the market as a DH, right? Where it's kind of like, okay, well, if he's getting X as a DH, I can either work my way down or work my way up based upon the player, that's negotiating outside of that. So, yeah, I mean, Jeff Passan reported that it seems like Schwarber might be the first chip to fall. Listen, I mean, overall, it's been a slow offseason. And not that it's, the busiest time usually between, the end of the year and now, but out of the top, 10 or so names of free agency, Dylan Cease is the only guy that's really been signed. Not a lot has happened at all. So if we see a Schwarber signing a comeback to the Phils, that would be awesome. The other thing that was reported by Passan, it looked like the other teams that have entered the sweepstakes, the Mets, right? I think they said the Mets. You've been hearing some Orioles rumors. That'd be something, huh? Orioles?
It's the O's. Yeah, I didn't see the O's rumors. I've been seeing the Mets. Obviously, as soon as the Mets are in it, we got people chirping at us.
Oh, yeah.
The big one is, it looks like the other big one, but I think they're a paper tiger, is the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see the Reds making it. I mean, that would be something if they fork up, $30 million a year. I don't see it. I just don't see the Reds doing it.
What's the money to Cohen though if he decides he wants to? Joe Madden on another podcast.
Yes.
Kudos to the podcast. I can't remember what it was, and he said he doesn't believe it's going to come down to dollars and cents with Kyle Schwarber. That he's going to choose a place that he's comfortable with, which lends you believe that Philly's a favorite. But let's face the facts. His last contract wasn't huge. Okay. It just wasn't. Things are expensive. we don't have the luxury. I was trying to look for trades today, and there's some places like the Texas Rangers where those players, they get to Texas, they have no trade deals, and it 100% has to do with money.
Right.
So he's going to want to get paid. If Steve Cohen comes in and adds, what's 3 million extra a year to him? What's 5 extra million to him? 6 extra million to him?
Right.
Compared to Middleton. So Cohen could try to reset the market on Schwarber if he feels like it. Get Schwarber and Alonso. That would be crazy.
Can you imagine if Kyle Schwarber went to the Mets? Like his whole legacy just completely turns upside down for us overnight.
But he has a.
I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying he has a history of it. But he's been at a lot of different places, man.
He has.
Chicago, Philadelphia, and then New York.
So a quick recap. So basically, your Slim's winter meetings wish list. First and foremost, you'd love to see Kyle Schwarber get signed back to the Phils. Do you have a max amount of, before I go to the rest of your list, do you have a max amount of years you would go? Put it out there.
I would go higher than the market. And I think that's just my natural instinct.
7?
Yeah, I would go 6 years. But look,
okay.
Doesn't look like we're going to get there this week. But truth be told, nothing, like you said earlier, nothing has happened since the Dylan Cease contract taking his deal. Nothing else has happened.
No, not a lot has happened at all. So going down the list, you also said you'd love to see a trade involving Nick Castellanos, with obviously some type of pay down on our part, as well as Matt Strom. You're ready to move on from Matt Strom. You'd love to see a trade with him involved. I'd love to see what he would get back. There's been some rumors floating around, maybe get some prospects back to kind of replenish the system that we would probably be trading more prospects in the future. So a little bit of a replenish move. All right, so I like that. Let me go to my wish list. I'm 100% right there with you. Let's bring Kyle Schwarber back. This is what I would love to see. Give me 4-year deal. If I got to go 5, that's my compromise. $32 million a year. So if I'm sticking with that 4-year range, 4 years, $128 million. Let's bring Kyle back. Number 2, JT Realmuto. Let's bring him back. This is what I would love to see. There's been a lot of reports out there that he's not getting that 3-year love. Fine. Let's stick with the 2 years. That's better for us anyway. 2 years, $32 million. Get it done. 2 years, $32 million. But a sign of good faith, goodwill, whatever you want to call it. He's done a lot for this team, and there's a lot of off-the-field, non-analytics value that he provides. We all know this stuff. We've talked about it a million times. Last thing. This is not specific, so maybe this will parlay into what you were saying, Slim. I would love to see some type of arm depth, whether that's a starting pitching coming back, whether that's a reliever coming back. Let's make some moves that bring back some pitching depth, because what do we see time and time again happen in the postseason? Arms break down, the bullpens collapse, and we need a little bit more depth going into this year.
So, Devo, the issue I have with number 3, the arm depth, is the premium you pay during the winter meetings.
For sure.
I think we can. I think we're trying to save money, and that's just one easy way we're not going to do it. Don't get me wrong. If we can get one of these, I'm all in. I am all in. I am especially. I would love to see a deal get done with him. With that being said, I think our pitching depth this year is going to come from Andrew Painter, and I think it's going to come from later in the season as a starter. I think we're going to see Gage Wood potentially, if he's beasting it as a starter. He has nasty stuff, and what's nasty about it, and it's getting me excited. It kind of reminded me of Thor Syndergaard when he was actually good with the Mets. Is we could have a dude like Painter who is obviously throwing gas and has multiple pitches, and then follow him up with another flamethrower starter type Gage Wood. I don't know where his projections are as a starter, but it could definitely happen. And then I think his name's Chad Morton. He's the player director manager. He was on Scott Lauper's podcast. He was speaking. Luke. He was speaking of as Gage Wood as a starter. So I'm now having fever dreams of him and Painter just being absolutely dominant starting pitchers for us in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the listen, the Gage Wood being a reliever thing, being a starter, one or the other. I think the consensus obviously is it's easier to get the big leagues as a reliever, so maybe he starts off that way. We've talked about that a lot in the past. I would love to see Gage Wood come up on this team this year. Would love it. I mean, the guys we've talked about his personality at length on this team, so that would be a fun thing. So let's stay on this topic. I actually read an article a little bit earlier today, David Murphy of the Inquirer, and he posed a very interesting thought. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Let me hear him.
Basically, he proposed that the Phillies have a bigger issue, aka more headaches, is what he said, on the reliever side versus the position players. Do you honestly think that the Phillies have a harder time building the relief pitching versus the position players?
Well, it depends how we build it. If we do it like the Dodgers and we start throwing the starters in there more often, then
Right.
absolutely not. Because we have Durant, we're going to have Alvarado, we're going to have after that guys like Banks at the minimal. But
Kirkering.
then Kirkering, we then just named two other dudes
Right.
that I was throwing around since last year about potentially coming out. So they got easy roles. Even if they come up as starters, Painter, and then he can transition once the season starts. Because again, he's still only 2 years off Tommy John, etc. So I think if David Murphy would have acknowledged those two potentially for depth come postseason, then no, I don't buy it.
Yeah, when I first looked at the headline, I was like, I'm not in agreement. Then he made somewhat of a strong case by just essentially referencing the breakdowns in the playoffs. And his biggest point was essentially that it's harder to find bullpen pieces out there when you look at the success rate of teams acquiring bullpen, i.e., the Dodgers, the Phillies signed. Obviously, Romano didn't work out.
Yeah, I understand. That's because you're taking so many random swings to just hopefully find depth and give these guys second chances. That's what Romano was. When you pay a premium, though, the guys usually come through. We see the same guys. Chapman's there every year. So you just got to pay a premium for these guys once you get to free agency. And most teams aren't willing to do that. So they get the mixed bag of results like Dave Murphy's talking about. I think our bullpen's as good as it. I think it's better this year, right? If we got to add. I don't think there's a piece to sign or trade because here's the name. The one name is the guy you see Fairbanks, but he's going to be demanding somewhere around $13 million a year,
Right.
and I think we're looking to offload some money, especially having to sign Schwarber for big bucks, having to sign Remuto. Right. So on a minimum, that's $150 million
Right.
ish.
Yeah.
Right. We're eating somewhere between 15 and 20 million. So now we're almost pushing $200 million.
Yeah. No,
This ain't going to be, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I think there might be some creative ways, whether we do it internally or through trades out there. You mentioned Gage Wood. You mentioned potentially using starters. Let me end on this, Slim, then I'll see what else you have for me. Do the Phillies sign Kyle Schwarber next week? Yes or no?
Do they sign him next week? Let me see.
Or the winter meeting.
9-3. They are going to sign him on Monday morning.
Oh, okay. Nice and early. Get it out of the way.
Yep, either Monday morning or 4:00. 4:00 sounds better, right?
Yeah, I mean, as you're kind of pushing it a little bit in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think 4:00 Monday sounds good. Yeah, I like that.
Anything else you got for me, man?
No, I had re-engaged my interest in all the minor leaguers. Okay, this is going to be fluctuating day to day, let alone week to week. At this point, we're going to see Crawford in center field. So, like a lot to what you were saying last week, Devo.
Yeah.
I mean, for better or worse, Crawford has to get it done. And then if he's able to get it done, we have a nice little advantage having a player like Crawford on our team.
Right.
So that's it. I'm just rebuying into all these dudes, including Aiden Miller.
Yeah. Speaking of prospects, one of the name that gets thrown out there a lot right now from a catching standpoint is Harry Ford, who's the number one catching prospect for the Mariners, who's obviously blocked by the big dumper, right? So it's an obvious trade rumor that is going to get thrown out there. Would it be very interesting to see if, hey, the Phillies do not land Real Muto? Can we get some package together for him? Can we keep Remuto and still get him? My concern is he's going to be an expensive acquisition to make. So what does that look like?
Right. So the way we would do it, we would actually, I think, overload it potentially with pro players now.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to hit our minor leaguers because we already hit our minor leaguers before.
All righty, man. Let's a quick 30 minutes tonight here. I love it. So, guys, if you are still here, thank you. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We will be back soon. The whole gang will be back. We'll have Bones with us. Bones, we're hoping you enjoy your trip down to Disney. And hopefully the Phils have a successful winter meetings. And our next episode, we can report on some of that stuff because it's been a quiet offseason so far. Go Phils.